Hello, as I can here show you that the Dora the Explorer and the letter C color you see is at the letter C. The letter C is for is like for the daily count, or it could stand for card. But you have it to where you got some some artistic say or some artistic colorings right here. Is that you have it to where you have a mathematic type of table right here, type of calculation table that you have between 3,000 minus 1,000 2,000 and plus 500 to 2,500. And then you have it right here is to where you do the math if you were to do it on paper, or to do it on a calculator, or do it on a iPad, Apple e-reader or whatever. But you have it to where you have this math, that multiplication tables. It's like if you solve them or not, long as you match up the counts with the numbers, and you have it to where you have these numbers of problems, right? These math problems, and a lot of times is that if you were to do this on paper, that is like how much money you had to work with so far as if you were to build grow a money tree, or if you were to build a pyramid, that you would be working with the stuff here, that you would be adding up numbers and then subtracting numbers from, say, the decimal point or whatever. But anyway, but one good way that I went ahead and shown it right here is that use apples as an example. Is if you cut an apple in half, then you have halves. You get two apples, you cut them in half, so you get the halves right there. And then if you were to cut them in like 1/3 or something, you have like about 3 or 4 pieces right there. But you say, I don't know if you say look at it as a fraction, or it could be a mathematical type product type problem that you have it to where that you cut it in half, and then you're down to 2 pieces, and then 2 big pieces, and then you cut more slices, and then you cut these 2 pieces right here, divide those, like it's like 1/1/3, or it could be 1/1/4 or something like that. It's like with a decimal of a fraction, and then be able to get the 2 pieces from the other ones from the other pieces, the bigger pieces that you cut. But it's like, if you notice, that's considered like a division or a minus type problem. But anyway, but a lot of times you say that money don't grow on trees, but a lot of times, like where apples come from, that it come out the idea of apples, that the apples would grow on a tree. Got the apple tree right there, and along with the pyramid. But and then you got the percentage sign right there. But so far as letter C is, if you were to go to the grocery store, it's like you have the frog right here that hop 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 from one mathematic problem to another. Is that if you would go to the grocery store, a lot of times they ask you if you want paper or plastic, and some people get plastic, I guess because it maybe it saves trees, or maybe it holds more, or whatever it is. And then they got paper right there. And a lot of times if you go to a store, that you see is like buy one get one free, or it could be 3 and buy 3, and then buy 3 for $5 and buy 10 for $10. They have sales like that going on. I guess there's a lot of places, but you have it till you get the pineapple right here. And you just never know about pineapple. Is it growing on trees, or if it actually growing in the ground or whatever? But more likely, they could probably say that a lot of it's money, that you spend money on it, and like if you spend money on it, you might as well eat it while it's still fresh. But so far with Dora the Explorer, as you have it to where you got plastic along with the gallon of milk, and it's like you got the plastic. The plastic holds more than the paper, or the paper holds more than the plastic. But a lot of times, is that you wonder about the cashiers would ask you that question a lot of times, if you want paper or plastic. And what I usually say is that it's plastic, because matter of fact that with paper, that it may hold more, but then the way I think about it is, like, sometimes it could be more weight too. That they say is that even if you double bag the stuff, that if you ever have it to where it's like maybe not all groceries have plastic, have paper bags to where you could where you can use them, but you get the two choices between paper and plastic, and then they may have something later like what you call interior leather carrier or whatever you call it, or some symbolic wrap or whatever you call it. Is that if you were to have it to where, which I don't think they have it yet, to where you can do your grocery shopping online, that you can it's like enter the coupon number, which is usually between 10 and 15 digits long number right there. But you have with Dora the Explorer is to, if you were to go grocery shopping and then you do the calculations, if you were to keep count, more likely that that's a good example of putting money in your pocket, putting money in the savings to build up the savings right there for so far as the letter C. And then we've got the Boots right here, like Boots talking about the fact about it's like how to save so far as with the planet so far with food for planet. That a lot of stuff right here is that with the grocery wise is that more likely if you were to open a bank account, then more likely that the first place you may be going to would more likely be is the grocery store. But go to the grocery store or maybe go clothing shopping, whatever it is. But either way, really the only option, the only best option it is to save your money. More likely is to keep track of count of what you buy, and then what you're doing so far as working with what's on sale, and then what's in the shopping cart. But a lot of times is that with the ways whenever you add taxes and fees, I mean that's another situation that you got to kind of work with. But so far with Dora the Explorer, like Dora the Explorer, and exploring different ways to do shopping. It's like with the gallon of milk is that you go on to do shopping, either it's online or it could be in the grocery store. Is that most of the time that you got the lettuce right here, the lettuce, and then but more likely that if you do go in the grocery store, that you would a lot of times see things, and that some of them may not even have the prices on them. Some of them may even have the prices on them, but maybe not mark on there. It's like how much it is per pound or whatever you call it, like the bananas or the pineapple, that or the lettuce, they may start charging you maybe by the layer or by the filling of it. But whatever that fills you up, it's like that with the straw is that one of the reasons why straws were made is to make it easier for you to sip juice or whatever you call it. But more likely you can also look at it as a straw is it something to fill you up with something that you worked hard for. But anyway, so far with Dora the Explorer, along with the picture colorings, for letter C, and then along here is for the percentage for building your savings, and so for Dora the Explorer and letter C color.